Hey y'all, my name is Sarah and this is my Flosstube, Sarah Stitches. This is my channel primarily about cross stitch. I do, at most of my videos, I do have a book talk at the end, but I want today is an extra and it's strictly going to be a finishing parade and a WIC parade. I don't have enough of either that really, I could do them separately, but I can just film them together and just have an extra. It will be longer than my normal videos, but I don't think it'll be that much longer. And so I just thought to save time, I would put them all in one video. First of all, I just want to start this video off by thanking everybody so much for all your kind words, your words of encouragement. I had mentioned in my previous Flosstube that, sometimes I kind of, and it's me, I just get in my own head that that maybe I don't have enough to offer or to show and all that. And everybody was so supportive and so kind and just film when you can film. Don't worry about what your content is. And, if it's up, it just so kind. So I just want to thank you all so much for that. I think it kind of gave me that little boost I needed. I've been watching a few other floss tubers and they've talked about some struggles through their floss tube channel and just stitching in general that they've had. And I think when you film these, sometimes you do put pressure on yourself to make sure that you have enough to show and that what you're showing is interesting, people would be interested in. And I think one other floss tuber had mentioned that, you got to do you. You got to stitch what you like and show what you like. And I think, I just need to remember that. And so, but I do just want to thank everybody for that. So I wanted to get this WIC parade film. Today is actually New Year's Eve, December 31st. I tried to film earlier. I think it was Sunday afternoon. I tried to film one. And I had so many interruptions. My husband was home. He kept coming back interrupting. And then I have a shelf on my wall. And I had switched out all my Christmas decor. I've taken it all down. And I had put out just my normal stuff that I keep out there. Well, I guess I just didn't have something on there good enough. I don't know what happened, but in the middle of the video, you hear boom. It sounded like gunshot, and I'm like jumping up. And I know I could have edited it out, but it was a shelf that had fallen. Of course, scared my poor dog to death. I don't think he was going to walk past that living room. He's got real bad anxiety, and if anything is off kilter, I got new furniture about a year ago, and it took him several months to walk around that new furniture. And if we ever, anything out of sorts, there was a TV tray in the living room left over from when people were here for Christmas, and he kept like jumping when he'd walk by and jump. And I was like, what is his problem? And my husband was like, it's that TV tray. You need to move the TV tray. So anyway, scared the dog, one of them, half to death. And so I just thought, no, let's just do this another day when there's not quite so many interruptions. So hopefully I can get through this without any. And also, I do plan on joining Sandy with her 12 by 12 Zoom after this is done. I'm very much looking forward to that. I've had a grandbaby, like today's Tuesday, so I kept him Monday night. We got him, I guess, about 2 Monday, and then we kept him overnight and just dropped him off a little while ago. And then I've got my other one New Year's Day. I'll get him sometime after lunch. His mom and dad are wanting to go see some friends. So I get to keep him for several hours. So I am looking forward to it. So this is really a good time for me to try to get this video filmed. So, and with that, I'm just going to go ahead and just tell you right up front, I am not going to try to link anything in this video. If you have any questions, because also that reminds me, I did not link, I really I had intentions to go and add links to the video, but I had a few people ask questions, and so I got to thinking, well, I'm just going to make sure that I say in my videos, please ask questions. You know, if I ever show anything that you are interested in, or if you want to know what flosses I used or what fabric, if I for some reason didn't mention it, please ask. I don't have any problem sharing it. And I kind of enjoyed not feeling the pressure to link things in the video. And so, but same with this video. If you have any questions, I will look into it and see what it was I used. I did much better this year keeping notes and writing down things, but I'm really bad about not going in order. And I'm bad. This is my problem. I will say, I don't, like in the evenings when I'm done stitching, or if I finish a project, I'm really bad about not writing it down right then. And I'll be like, oh, I'll get it done tomorrow, you know, because sometimes I finish it in the evening and then I'm ready to go to bed. And I'm like, then the next day, well, okay, I remember what it is. I'll write it down the next day. And before I know it, 2-3 weeks has passed. And so that is one thing I want to improve on. Now, I'm not one to keep up with daily stitches. I don't write daily. I have tried it, but it just doesn't work for me to write what I work on daily. I don't keep up with stitch count. So really what I want to document is when I start a project and when I finish it. And so I did much better this past year, but I'm honest, I'm lazy about that. I'm not a journaler, if that's a word. I don't journal. And so it's just not in me to do that. And so I have to really make myself do it. And so, but I am going to try to do better. Last year was better, so I'm going to try this year to do even better. So with that being said, just if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will definitely get back to it. But I do want to address 2 questions that I have that I'm just remembering right off the top of my head. And it had to do with, where did I get the Picture This Plus Dusk? I actually bought that piece from 123 Stitch. That is where I got it. And I like I said before, I'm definitely going to be repurchasing some. But I have enough left that I can get several more projects on it. And then also, I had shown, and I didn't show it in my video, but it was in the beginning where I was showing some ornaments on my tree. I had stitched a couple years ago, and it's from the Tiny Modernist Christmas signs. Because somebody asked about the ornament that had Santa and Mrs. Claus on it. And it said, have a very Merry Christmas. That's what it is, from the Tiny Modernist, and it's Christmas signs. Now, I did look on their Etsy shop for Tiny Modernist, and I did not see it in their shop. But when I just put it in Etsy, there were several shops that popped up that had it. Because I just bought the PDF off of their shop on Etsy. And so that's, like I said, though, I've had it 2 or 3 years. And it comes with 4 charts in it. So I've stitched 2, and eventually we'll get around to stitching the other 2 because they're really cute. So with that is all the kind of ahead of time business I wanted to address. And so I will move on now to my finishing parade. And they're just going to be in kind of seasonal order. So I do believe I have the ones that I have done this year that, I started in January. And so I will start with that. Let me kind of, like I said, I had filmed before, and just when I went to rewatch it and try to edit, I had so many interruptions. I just said, you know what, let's just refilm it. And so that's why everything's just in a big mess up here. But, we'll get through it. So let me move this out of the way. And I've already dropped something, just a minute. Okie dokie. Now, these are the ones that I finished last January, and they're all pillows. The first one is from the Snowball Chart by Brenda Gervais. I think she put this out a couple of years ago. And it's got like 6 or 7 charts in it. And they're all like snowman themed. And so there's the one I stitched last year was a snapshot, something snapshot. But this is my finish on it. This is on a 28 count Lugana. It's either a taupe or a mushroom color. And I made it into a little pillow. And then this is my back. Now this pillow, I think, turned out pretty good. Oh, and that reminds me. Also, I want to thank everybody for your suggestions on my pillow making. I got quite a few good tips that I want to try. So I really appreciate y'all sharing with me what y'all do to make your pillows. But that's it. And this is a combination of call for or what I had in my stash. But I love these little charts. And I've got one that I'm going to start today for the 12 by 12 with Sandy. I do have one that I'm going to start. And also, you know, the good thing about me pulling these back out is I bought the 2024 charms to put on my pillows. And if you will notice when I show my pillows, I think only one has it on it. So before I put these up, I'm going to put my charms. Yeah, I bought a package of them, and I haven't put but one charm on a pillow. That's how lazy I get. So, but this is a good opportunity for me to get them on there now. Because, you know, I'm bad about thinking, oh, I'll remember. And then when I pull this stuff out, I don't have a clue. So, and my next one is, now this was a chart from, she's a Flosstuber, and she started designing. And her channel is Lost in Stitches. And I believe that's her Etsy shop. But she put out this little winter chart. I don't know, like I said, I don't remember the name of it. If, you know, like I said, ask if, you know, if you want to know the name of it, please ask. But there was 3 separate little charts in it. And I stitched this one here. And this is on just a little 18 count blue that I had. And I stitched, no, I take that back. I think this might be either a 25 or 28 count that I did 1/1. It looks like that's a 1/1 stitch. But here's my back. And I just pulled from my stash, just some blues. It's all DMC. But I think this is so pretty. And I do have, like I said, there's 3 others that I really would like to one day stitch. Y'all, please excuse me. My nose has started running. We are going from, I think yesterday it got up in the 60s. And today it's going to be in the 50s. Tomorrow might be again back up in the 60s. That's where it just fluctuates. But I did hear where next week we are going to be really cold. And there's a slight chance, I don't know how big of a chance, but there might be some snow. So we'll see. But this one here, and I don't know much about this one. I think it came out of a magazine originally, maybe. It was called Snowman in a Window. And it might have been a free chart too. Now I did kind of alter it, but this is it. And this is on a 14 count, I believe. Yeah, no, this is a 14 count, just blue Ada I had. I think I had dyed it. And this is my finish. Now the window pane had, or the molding around the window had like a saying in it, and I left it off. And then he had like Smyrna, what's those called? Smyrna stitches in the hat or someplace, and I did not do those. But I think he's really cute. I know it was called Snowman in the Window, something like that. But I just used some black pom-pom trim, and this is my back. So he looks really cute, my Dubbo. I need to just stack these right here. I don't have room for anything. Okay, those are my January finishes that I did. I only had one for February. I am not a big Valentine's stitcher. I don't decorate for Valentine's Day. If I stitch any, they're little smalls, little cutesy. I know a lot of floss tubers, they will start these, lovely sayings, charts about for their husband, about their relationship, and just quotes of love and all that. But I don't do those. And me and my husband, we're just not that type of couple. Now, we love each other, don't get me wrong, but we're just not that sentiment type of couple, I guess. Is that the word I'm trying to say? You get what I'm trying to say? And so I don't stitch those. But so I did do, though, the Valentine November. No, gosh, I am just all over the place. February's Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. And so I changed it up with colors that I liked. I had seen somebody on Etsy change the colors, and I kind of went by that as an inspiration. So, but I really think it turned out so cute. And so I'm just going to, use this as a leaner. I've got most of the other months. There's a few more months I need, but I am going to start stitching them on a higher count fabric, and they'll be small. I've seen them in little pillows, and they're really cute. And so that's why I'm going to do it moving forward. But this was a really fun little stitch. I loved stitching these people here. And I think I changed up the colors for they're all just, I don't believe any of it's called for. So I was really, it was, I see now what design, when I thought to myself when I was pulling colors, because I pulled a lot and just kind of would go with what I thought looked good after I started stitching. And I thought, oh my gosh, it must be so hard to design and to choose on a color palette. That to me that would be hard for me. So kind of felt like what some of these designers go through. And I'm not necessarily sure I enjoyed it a lot either. I know some people, I watch on Flosstube, and they always change the colors, always. And I'll change it to something similar, but this was my first really attempt at just completely changing it all up. But I love how it turned out. Okay, so that would be February. Now for Easter, this would be my Easter stitch. And I know this was originally, I believe, in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I don't know if it was if it's a Stitching with the Housewives, or if it would have been a Priscilla Blaine with hands-on Kathy Haverman collaboration that they did for a while. But it was called, the chart I believe was called Spring. And it had the word spring on it with other motifs, but it had this rabbit in the center. And I just stitched the rabbit. I had seen Michelle McGraw do this. And I thought it was so cute. So that's what I copied her. And I did this. And this is all called for. I mean, I just chose my pinks and stuff that I wanted to use. But I think it turned out so cute. And then here's my back. I just made, this is one of those that I cut the opening in. And then I just put a little bow. And this is the one that I think is the only one that's going to already have the 2024 charm on it. So, oh, and this is one of those that I attempted to sew the rip rack in instead of gluing it around the edge. And you can tell it almost just completely disappeared over here. You can barely see it. This side looks pretty good, but I don't know what happened to this side. So, but I thought it turned out really cute. Okay, so that would have been all for any type of Easter spring finish. So we will move on to my patriotic finishes I had last year. And I had finished the Patriotic Quartet, and it was Home of the Brave. This is a Mill Hill kit, and it's a series. I think there's like 4 in it. And so this is my finish for it. This is just a Mill Hill frame that I had got, that I ordered. And it was a kit, so it's all the call for. But yeah, I had dropped these beads right here. I just dropped them. And I had just enough, and I had to reorder and to get these last 2 letters done. So, but that is, and I think it's really pretty. Those beads really, I don't think you can really see right there, you can kind of see how the beads sparkle. It's very pretty. My husband he had gone in one day with me. I had to pick up something at the Shepherd's Needle, and he had gone in with me. Normally he does not, but, and he saw those, and he said he wanted me to get those and stitch them. So I finally got it done. Then this one was one out of this Leisure Arts magazine booklet, and it's 200 plus quickies. It was put out in 1997, I believe. And this has really got a bunch of cute stuff in it. And what I like about it is now you can change the colors and stitch it to how you want it and make it suit your style. And so that's what I did. And this was one that I stitched. I just call it America. It was originally done for a sweatshirt. And so I kind of changed up the colors and just kind of made up my own. The original one, I think, had some plaid look to it on like the bottom part of the letters. But now it did have these little white polka dots. So I just did the white polka dots all the way through. And this was my first time making like a cylinder pillow. And it was, I thought it turned out really good. I actually have got these little ends rubber band, and then I tied the ribbon around it. But yeah, and this is stitched on, I believe, 28 count vintage country mocha. Or it might be, yeah, I think it is 28 count. So that's that finish. Try not to ramble on too much about them. And this is Stitching with the Housewives. I think she called it Patriotic Jars. And this is on 14 count Aida, and I just pulled colors from my stash and just made it into a cute little pillow. And then that's my back. I had attempted to do that, I think it's called a blanket stitch, where you stitch it, and then when you cinch it, it's supposed to disappear, the seams. But my seams didn't quite disappear. So I just put some blue Rit-Rack over it, and I think it turned out really cute. And so that's that finish. And then I've got my Let's Party Like It's 1776 by Little Stitch Girl, and I turned it into a drum. And this is also another combination of call for and what I just chose, something similar. And I believe this is on a 32 count, just a taupe Lugana. But I think it turned out so cute. And I really had fun making this drum. I want to make some more this next year. I think it turned out so cute. I loved stitching these people. These people were so much fun to me to stitch. I really enjoyed them. The flag it took a while. That flag was a beast. It has a lot of stitches in them, but it turned out, it looks so pretty though. So that's that one. Now the ones I've got, I do have one summer, and it was my Honeybee Quaker from Primrose Cottage. And I take that back. There was my other one I put a charm on. But this, I just did the styrofoam block finish with this. Turned out really cute. This is on an 18 count white, and I switched one color out of it, and that was it. So I think I like a, I do like the block finishing. So, okay, now my next ones are ones that y'all haven't seen because I stitched these during fall and Halloween and finished. Now, a couple of them, 2 were whips that I actually finished. 3 are whips I finished. And then there are 2 new starts. And so these are all new. So I'll go first with my whips. And my first one I finished was October Trucking Along by Stitching with the Housewives. And this is just on a 14 count black Aida. And I just pulled colors that I liked. Some are called for, but I do know these are not called for. I just pulled some oranges that I thought looked good together. And I've just got, it's just kind of like I did have a display piece that I magnet, because I used the magnets and the washers with it. And so, but I've already put it away. But that's my finish for it. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to, if I do any more trucks, it's only going to be maybe November's, and it's maybe March. I don't think I'm going to do April's. I know I'm not, it might be March or May's that, but yeah, I'm still debating whether or not I want to do any more of those. Okay, then my next whip that I finished was, I finished Let's Talk Autumn by Hands On Designs. And there it is. I think it turned out so pretty, even though I hated the fabric. It was on a 28 count. I don't know the maker. And I couldn't stand the fabric. And I actually threw it away when I was done. And so, but this frame was a frame that came from my mother's house. And so I painted it because it was all stained. And I didn't think it would go well with this type of piece. And so I painted it white and painted the leaves and gave them some little dimension. But I think it looked really cute hanging on my wall. I was really pleased with it. This one's full of mistakes, but now you that have stitched it probably will see the mistakes, but nobody else knows that it's got mistakes in it. So, but I do love it. I think it looks so pretty, but did not like that fabric. Okay, now the next 2, oh no, I got one more that was a whip. I finished, it was a, excuse me, it was called Pumpkins for Sale, and it was from a store off Etsy. And the original chart had a pumpkin, had a bunch of pumpkins inside a wagon. And then it had the words Pumpkins for Sale that kind of went across the top of the chart. Well, the piece of fabric, number one, that I chose was not, where I started on it, it was not going to be big enough to stitch the whole thing. So originally, then I thought, well, I'll just stitch the pumpkins with the wagon. Well, I was not enjoying stitching the pumpkins. So I just kind of cut it off with the 3 pumpkins that I got done. And I think it looks really cute. I just put it in this little frame. This is a Dollar Tree frame that I put some rub and buff on. And I really was pleased with it. But these pumpkins, I don't know if you can tell, there is a lot of color change in them. And I didn't enjoy stitching them. I kept messing up, losing track of count. And it was just not, I'm sure it's a really pretty piece all stitched together. But I like how I done it. And so I think, and it looked really cute just as a little filler on a shelf. I thought it did. I thought it turned out really pretty. And I think this is on like a 32 or 28 count piece of just, it was kind of a minty green or a seafoam green Lugana that I had. I think it's a Swagger fabric. But so that one there's that one. Now my next 3 are ones that these were all new starts, and I finished them. 2 were freebies. This one was from the Tiny Modernist. It's called Thanksgiving Freebie, I think. But it was originally, it's a full chart. It's got 2 turkeys in it with the pumpkin in the center, and then it's got like a Quaker looking motif around it. Well, I started stitching it on a 28 count vintage country mocha. And I quickly realized it was going to be too big. I didn't want that big of a piece. So then I had been watching Olivia with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and she had stitched this, I think, several years ago. But she just did the 2 turkeys and the pumpkin. And so I thought, well, that's what I'll do. I'll just do it like that because it really looked cute. But then I was like, that's still going to be bigger than what I want. I just wanted something small. And so I had stitched the 1 turkey and I left it at that. And so I just did this turkey out of it. And I love it. I think it turned out so cute. I wanted some turkeys because I didn't have any turkeys in any of my Thanksgiving stuff. So I just made him into a little pillow. And this is just some black and brown homespun fabric that I put some black rickrack on. And turned out really cute. And I don't even remember, it was a brown DMC that I used. Now my next one is from the Tiny Modernist. And I think it was a freebie, and it's, I think, a turkey freebie or something. But I think this one turned out really cute. It's all DMC, and it's also on a 28 count vintage country mocha. And it's all the call for DMC. And this is it. Isn't it cute? It's just the cutest little turkey. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like a little Quaker looking motif in it, in this little chest. So cute. And it did not take long to stitch. And I've just got some, I still got to finish the back. So I've just got some, it's a gold check fabric, kind of autumn looking. So I thought that one, I enjoyed stitching these 2 little free charts. They were a lot of fun. Now my next one is from Little Robin Designs, and this was a new release at the latest market releases they just had. And it was called Slightly Spooky. It's a chart that's got 3 designs in it, and I stitched October 31st. And it's got the orange and the black thread in it, and they're both weeks. So, and this did not take long. So I definitely want to get the other 2 stitched for this coming year. And then I just used a black and white check fabric on the back. So that was that one. And then this will be my last, because you saw my Christmas one that I done in my last video, so I'm not going to show it. But this is my last one. And now if you have watched my previous videos, you know I like to watch other YouTubers that DIY. And not necessarily cross stitch or anything like that. They just strictly DIY. And I kept seeing this past that started in Halloween and Christmas. It's called a bust out canvas, where you take a canvas and you paint a design on it, and then you cut it open like it's busting out, and then you paste another design in it so that you can see that design. Hold on a second. So you see that design in the opening. So I thought, well, wouldn't that be cute to do a cross stitch piece that way? And so I was, me and my friend Sandy, we like to Zoom and finish together. You know, it's fun. I don't have anybody close by that cross stitches, or that I can just run to their house and we can finish things together. I don't have anything like that. And so the closest people I stitch with is when I go to the Shepherd's Needle. And so so we like to do that because it's nice. You get other ideas, and you know, it's just fun. And so she has suggested to paint a pumpkin on it and then do it that way. And that's what I did. It turned out really cute. Now, the piece I used in it is from, excuse me, Waxy Moon Designs, and it's her Haunted House Trio. And this is my finish. And I loved it. I think it turned out really cute. Now, I do next year would like to do maybe a Christmas one. I thought it'd be really pretty to have a Santa face in it popping out. And so definitely there's a learning curve to it, but it's not hard. This is just all a canvas I got at Dollar Tree, and I painted it. This is fabric that I actually Mod Podged in it. And then I just put some buttons in this little raffia bow. And that's it. And now I did leave off several things on the chart. And this is just called for if I had it. If not, then I pull something else. Now the house is not the call for, because I think it was brighter than what I wanted. And so I think this is actually might be a Victorian motto thread. I'm not sure. But I had it just sitting up as a display piece, and it really looked cute. But what I did is I mounted this piece on a piece of like foam board. And then I glued it. So I'll show you. And then I glued it into the back. And so I had to make sure I put a lot of pressure in these corners so that the glue would adhere good. And then you can see the fabric where I had used it to, because I decoupaged it on the back first. And then after it dried, I cut it open. And then when I cut it open, I took the curls and kind of glued them back. So if anybody would be interested in possibly a tutorial on this, I would be more than happy to kind of get some supplies together and do a tutorial, because I thought it was really fun and different. And so, so that's that one. And that's it. That is all my FFOs for the year, which I thought I did pretty good considering, I work a full-time job and, just with general life busyness, I thought, for me, I thought that was pretty good. So, I will now move on to my whips that I've got, and they're not going to be in any type of order. When I see a bag, I'm going to grab it. And so, and then I will try my best to remember what it is. And there are a few that when I show you, I am going to, UFO. I'm going to UFO because I just don't think I'm ever going to get around to finishing it. Excuse me. And I'm just not really that interested in stitching on it anymore. And so with that, my first one I'm going to show you is Silver Creek Samplers. And some of these, there might be some progress on them since the last time I showed them, because I stitched on some other pieces between the time frame of the 4 or 5 months that I didn't film. I didn't go back when I had my last video. I didn't go back and show everything that I'd worked on. But this is Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. Now I'm using the Priscilla Blaine with Stitching with the Housewives, her color conversion. I bought the floss pack from Fat Quarter Shop. And this is just on some fabric that I had in my stash. I believe it is a 28 count that I had probably over-dyed at some point. But that's where I'm at. And I don't know if I've got any, there might be a little progress on it since the last time I've shown it. But I have got to, this is 2/2, but I've got to get some more progress on this. I really think it's such a cute chart. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, I know, because I think we all, when you pull it out, you're just like, gosh, Why have I not worked on it? Okay. This one is April Quaker by From the Heart Needlework by Wendy. And this is another piece of fabric I just had in my stash. I do think it's a 36 count because I'm stitching these 1/1. Now this was my March Quaker finish. I think I did show this, but I did get it finished. And this, I'm just stitching the April on the other side of it. And that's my April. I'm anxious to get some of these done. I did buy the calendar box from Paisley and Polka Dots. So I'm anxious to get those done so I can display them in it. Okay, now this is Scarlet from Stacy Nash. It's Animal Cracker series. I started this with, there's a group of us that we Zoom. Sandy was stitching with this, Sandy has a Zoom twice a month. And so we had decided to do a stitch along. And so we all chose the Animal Cracker. And so I chose Scarlet because we used to have a little Boston Terrier. Her name was Susie. And she had a pink sweater that was really about 2 sizes too little, but my mother stuffed her in it. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the story. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people have already heard the story. But just my husband adored her and she adored my husband. She tolerated the rest of us. But, and so I'm going to stitch this. I had planned, I was hoping to get it done by Christmas, but I didn't. So this will be a birthday start. I mean, hopefully get it to him for his birthday in May. And so this is where I'm at. And this is called for. And it's 1/. This is a 40 count. It's not called for fabric. It's a called for flosses. This is a 40 count. I think it's Tycoon or Tyco from, I don't know the maker. But this is it. So I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to put this in my 12x12 and work on it one day for an hour during that. Now, are y'all doing anything? Well, by the time you see this, 12x12 will be over. But I've only got 2 new starts. The rest are going to be whips. I just wasn't in the mood to kit up anything. And so I'm just going to work on my whips. And so this one is Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. This was originally stitched with Laura, Stitching by the Shore. It was a stitch along she had and a Sal. And so we had started it. Now Laura has finished it. And we both originally started out with no border and no alphabet, just that center motif. And Laura stuck with it. And she used a beautiful purple fabric. It looks completely different. But I decided halfway through it, I wanted to leave it as is. And so luckily my piece of fabric is big enough that I can do that. And this is just a 28 count that I dyed, or I over dyed it with. Because you know, sometimes you get some fabric and you don't really like the color, or you need to change it up a little bit, and that's what I had done. But that's where I'm at. And I do think I maybe have a little bit of progress since the last time I showed it. I'm thinking I didn't have any of this done last time I showed it. But I'm using the DMC conversion for this one. And so I'm going to put that over there for 12x12. And this will be a new start. This was started during Halloween and fall. And it is Stacy Nash's House on Pumpkin Hill Pinky. Now I'm using all the called for flosses except for the black. And this was on a piece of fabric that I altered. I think it was originally a purple for when I was in a fabric of the month, and I had gotten a piece of purple, and I had it for a while and just decided to I just kind of used some gray and made a real, and I like how it turned out. It's a real pretty gray. And so that's it. That's where I'm at. The black is a Victorian motto called Very Black. And so this one, I feel like if I ever get going on it, it won't take long to stitch. Okay. This is Folksy Thomas by Teresa Kogut. This was in her Patreon for October 2022. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count colored and cotton rain washed. I've had this fabric for a couple years. It was one that when she had a sale on her website that I picked up. But like it's 2 or 3 years old. But I think it's perfect for this piece. And it's all the call for DMC. And this piece here, I think will be a good piece to take to the shepherd's needle and stitch on the Saturdays that I go, because a lot of it is just fill in. And so that might be what I do. There was a girl that goes, she was working on a Plum Street sampler piece every Saturday, and she's got it finished, and it's a beautiful, looks so pretty. But she really stuck to it, and that's what she brought to work on Saturdays. Okay. This next one is Country House Needleworks, Santa's Village. And this is Santa's house. Yeah, I really need to be ashamed with this one because I have not touched it since the last New Year's 12 by 12. Now this is on a 25 count vintage country mocha, and I'm doing it 1/1. And so I will be putting this down there to work on in my pile that I'm starting for the 12 by 12 to work on it today or tonight whenever I pull it out. Okay, this new one, this is a new start for this year. I only have about, I meant to mention that, I only have like 9 whips moving that I carried over in 23. Now, I don't know how many since then, but I did make a little bit of progress getting some whips done this past year. So I was real happy about that. But then I've got several new starts. Oh, excuse me, I got a hair. This is Thankful by Sabrosa on Etsy. Now mine's going to look completely different. I'm changing the fabric and the colors. And so this is on a Shrekie's Tan by Needle Bling Design, and it's a 36 count. And that's where I'm at. I'm just kind of changing them as I go. And so I did not want my pumpkins. They were really light on this fabric, so I darkened them up. This is the original color of the pumpkins. So, but I am making it my center pumpkin. But I think it looks really pretty. I just got a bunch of colors in my bag, and I'm just going with it. I find that sometimes when you change the colors, for me, it's best just to put several colors in that way, because sometimes the colors look completely different when you actually stitch them on the fabric. And then you sometimes you just don't like it. And so that's what I've done with this one. Okay. This one is one of my oldest. This is coming over from 23. This is The Day by Plum Street Samplers. And I think part of the reason this one I did not stitch on it as much is I had a huge mistake in the roof. And I had to redo the roof. But this is where I'm at. And this is on a 36 count, 1/1 with all the call for floss. So I've definitely got to bring this back out because I think it is a beautiful chart. I've seen lots of people finish it and it is so pretty. So I'm going to pull that out as a possible stitch today. And this is, oh, what's this one? Lizzie Kate's Halloween Rules. That's what it'll look like all done. I am just still up here on that. Let's eat more candy. And this is colors that I'm pulling, call for, whatever. And then it's on a 28 count gray that I over dyed. But that's where I'm at. And this is a fun little stitch. I do enjoy it. I'm going to put that down there for today too. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to put them in a basket and I guess whatever calls to me. One year I made, I put strips, I wrote them all on a strip of paper and then I drew what hour I wanted to work on. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. All right. This is Honey of a Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. I don't have much of a start at all. That's it. I don't even know this fabric. I think it was in my stash. But I did kit it up with all the call for colors. All right. Let's see. That's all those there. So let me grab a couple of these right here. I've got just a few more, not a lot. Now, I joined Pine Mountain Designs Itty Bitty Club, Itty Bitty Bowl Club. And I've only got one completely done. And then this one is, now I am going to, now January is it. That will be all of it. But it was a nice club. I've got them all back there. And they're completely kitted up. It comes with everything but the floss, even the finishing pieces, the cute little things to put in the display bowl. But this was March's. And so I am going to leave it as is. It does originally call for like L-U-C-K. But I do not decorate for St. Patrick's Day or anything. So I just think that's pretty just as I'm going to make the pillow like that. And then I haven't even started. They all come with a pillow and a little sack. And so I haven't even started the sack. So I need to get started on that. I might put that down there to work on some today. This is Brenda Gervais, Every Opening Flower. And it is so pretty. And this is stitched on Call for Everything. Winter Brew by R&R, and it's all the Call for flosses. And this is where I'm at. So pretty. Got to get busy on that. So we'll stick that down there. Okay, this is Stars and Stripes and Strawberries by Needle Nook Designs. She's got some really cute little small charts on her Etsy store. Just, I really, they're all kind of the primitive style. I really like, I've got a couple more in her my stash that I've got of hers. And this is just on a 32 count piece of fabric that I had. And all I've got is the flag. I've got to get the strawberries and all that done. But I think it's going to be so cute when it's done. What is this? Okay. Here's one that I am probably going to UFO. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not enjoying this. I am so far behind in it. I would never catch up. And it's just not one that calls me to work on it. And it is Teresa Kogut's Hometown Sal. This was her Patreon Sal. And it's a 2-year Sal. And y'all, she has released all the way down into here. I am right there. And so I just kind of feel like, if this is all that I've done on it, then this is not calling to me to stitch. So this is all I've done. So I don't know, if I trim it just right, I could just leave it as is and then just finish this into a little flat fold or add some material to it and finish it as a little pillow or something, and just be happy with it. I think it's so pretty. I still got to put the name of the store, whatever that is. I think it's an antique store. But it's just too much. I think that's it. So I'm not going to continue on with this. And so I've just got to figure out what I want to do with what I've stitched. So that's going to go over there as not going to continue to work on it anymore pile. Let me grab these, and that will be it. I do have a new start, and I have a finish. So I will show those just here in a second. My next one is Plum Street Samplers Blackberry House. And this was my birthday start. And I haven't touched it again since my birthday. And it was in August. But this is on a gray Snupes fabric, and I don't know the name of it. But it's a 36 count. And I did buy all the call for floss. And that's it. I know Amy with Renewing Stitches started this with me. And Carrie, who I stitched with at Shepherd's Needle, I don't know if she started it, but she had talked about she was going to get it kitted up or buy it. I don't know. But that's it. So I'm going to put that there because I do want to work on that today. And here's another one, kind of on the fence about, and I might just cut it in half or just use it as little small motifs. It's Winter Sampler by Cressida Agogo. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, because I do think it's a beautiful chart. But I might just like cut it in half and stitch that top part. I love this. And then maybe just take little different motifs and like that. That would make a cute little pillow. Either one of these. So that's what I'm going to do. Because this is another one. This is where I'm at. Right there. That's where I'm at. And I think it's going to be a little bigger than what I want. So I am. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it up and stitch it in different parts. And I will be much happier with that. Because I do love the chart. I think it is very pretty. I love her stuff. She's got some really cute stuff. So let me stick that over there. This next one is going to be a start today. I had started it, but the fabric was way too dark. This is Plum Street Samplers Jack's Bash. And I had bought Murky by Picture This Plus, and it was way too dark. So when I was at the Shepherd's Needle one day, I got this. Actually, another stitcher showed it to me. And she was like, this will be perfect for Jack's Bash. And I loved it. It's 32 count Nirvana, Nirvana. I don't know who the maker is. It's got NAF. It's just got their initials. But this is it. And I think it's perfect. So I will be starting this at some point today. Because I love this chart. My favorite part are these people down here. I had one of the ladies I stitch with, one of my friends that I stitch with at the Shepherd's Needle. First time I ever saw it, she was stitching on it and was almost done. And I did. I went and bought and kitted it up that day when I was there. Well, except for the fabric. Well, I had bought the Murky, but it was way too dark. Okay. Now, this is the 12 Days of Christmas by Annie B's Folk Art. And yeah, this is another one I really need to be ashamed about because I was so excited when this was released. I was not part of the club, and so I had just been waiting and waiting and waiting for this to be released. And me and my friend Sandy, we started it together. Now, I think she does have one done. I don't even have one done. That's it. There it is. So, and it's just on black 14 count Aida. Is what I'm doing it on. That's the call for fabric. So hopefully next year, one thing I am going to try to do is be more mindful on what I stitch and not just go off on these rabbit trails that but just because everybody else is stitching it, I need to stitch it. Now, I'm not saying, I'm sure that's going to happen, but I do need to make sure that I do a better job of picking up my whips and working through those. And also, when I say this, you're going to laugh. I'm going to be a lot more mindful about what I buy. I think for the most part here until like market releases or whatever, I'm just going to buy floss and fabrics. Now, that being said, I did get on Shepherd's Needle this morning. She's having she's closed until after the 1st, but she's having a customer appreciation sale and everything is 20% off, I believe. And then clearance could be 30 or 40% off. So I bought and I've been wanting to get one, and I thought, well, it's on sale, so let's do it. A Hawk Run Hollow. And so I'm excited about that. And I got a Brenda Gervais, and I got a couple of Blackbirds. But I could have spent hundreds, easily fill that card up. But I was really mindful about what I bought. I was like, nope, you're just going to stick to these couple of charts and not go nuts. But I couldn't pass on getting the Hawk Run Hollow because it was on sale. And so I'm excited about that. It's one of those that every time I see somebody stitch it, and at Shepherd's Needle, she's got 3 or I don't know how many of them as models stitched in the store, and they are so pretty. So, but that will not ship until after she gets back. But Hands On Designs Summer Basket is my next whip, and I started this with Nicole Spohr. She did a stitch along with these about making a biscornu. And I go back and forth. And I know I could go watch her videos still, and I've never done a biscornu. So I don't know if I need to just finish this into like the pillows, and actually for my first biscornu, do a chart that is actually charted to make a biscornu. Or I do know there has to be a border stitched around this. And if that's all I got to do, and I know I'll have to stitch a bottom part too. But anyway, that's my plan. And I still don't know what I'm going to do. from y'all that have made biscornus, let me know what would be the easiest for me to do. Because I've never made one. I've heard they're not near as hard as what you think. And then once you make one, you want to continue, you want to make more. But I do love this little chart. And it is, I don't know the fabric. I think it might be the call for fabric. Or I've just pulled, I got it from the shepherd's needle. But it's the call for flosses. I lost the little sticky that I had. I don't know. I'm not going to work on that today. Here's another one I'm fisting to DNF. I keep saying DNF, UFO. And it's a free one by Grisetta A-Go-Go, and it was this winter chart. And I stitched it on a 28 count, just blue. And yeah, I've made a lot of progress, so I don't know. But it's so big. I don't want it this big. But it's not going to be much bigger than what that is. So I might continue with this one because it is really pretty. But I don't know. I'm going to still put that over there because I don't stitch on it. I'm not drawn to it. It is not. And so why, this is supposed to be stuff that we love, that we want to do. So why can't continue on to it because I feel some sort of obligation to it? I don't know. I'm going to put that over there because I just don't care for it anymore. Okay, this one is Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais. And I'm using all the call for fabric and all the floss. And I think I've made some progress on it since the last time I've shown it. Matter of fact, when Sandy watched my video, she said, why didn't you show your Santa Stops Here? And I was like, oops, I forgot. But this is it. I think I have put in that window and then that door. Now she finished hers and she used a light blue fabric that has the dots in it to make it look like snow. I believe that's what she used. It's really pretty. But she got to finish. So this is going to be a goal to get this one done this year. And we'll put it over here in my 12 by 12 pile. It's gradually getting to be too many. And this is, let me go there. Airmail by Lindy Stitches. Now, I do like her little bird series, this airmail series. I think it's so cute. So, and I've got a couple more. And this is actually stitched on the other piece of fabric that I bought to go. I bought 3 pieces to go with that summer basket. But I stitched this one on it. And I'm just kind of pulling from stash for this. If I've got it, I use the call for. If not, I'm pulling from stash. But it's really cute. So I'm going to maybe stitch on that today. We'll see. Okay, then I've got one more. And because I did not want to show, everything else down here is what I talked about last week. And there's no work on them except for the one. But this is Henpeck by Plum Street Samplers. And this is on 20 Count Dove by by Color Cotton. Yeah, I love this fabric. It is so nice. And I really like 20 count. That's where I'm at. And it's, once again, a combination of call for I just pulled. So, and all I really like is that little mound and then the border. And then a few other little motifs. I just think this one's so cute. I'm not a big chicken person, but I just thought it was so cute. And I've seen it stitched. And so, and I wanted it, I really like the higher count fabric. The 20 counts, the 36 counts, 18 counts. So I do have a new start and I do have a finish. So I'll show you my new start. I did start January Quaker by From the Heart by Wendy, artwork by Wendy. And I'm stitching this on a 18 count color and cotton. What is this? I thought it was a color and cotton. I lost my little thingy. Where is it at? May not be a color. I don't know what this is. I know it's an 18 count. Oh, here it is. It's not color and cotton. It is 18 count. Picture This Plus Fog. 18 count Fog by Picture This Plus. And that's it. I started this yesterday, and that's where I'm at. So I would like to get this done for the month of January, and I can start my, if I see that I'm not, because I can start with March, because March is done, and maybe work on April, and then start from there. We'll just see how it goes. I got a feeling that's what it's going to be. March will be my starting point with them since it's done. Okay, and then here's my finish, and you won't be surprised. I really worked hard to get this done so I would not carry it over as a whip. And it's Autumn Lane Stitchery, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And yeah, this one was a fun stitch for me. And I think a lot of it is because when you pull these fabrics, these colors, flosses, you're thinking, how in the world is this going to work? How in the world? And then when I would show it on my Flosstube, I would just be amazed at how it looked. And I loved it. And it's on a 14 count blue Aida, just a navy blue Aida. And here is my finish. It's done. I love it. It's all but one or two call for flosses. So I do want to start another one this year. I've got 2 more in my stash. I'm not gonna buy one. I'm gonna use my stash. And I had originally said I was gonna frame it, but I was watching Chantel with 141 Design Company. She put out a new video yesterday, I believe. And she has got these new backer boards. They're just the boards, and she calls it a kickstand that goes with it, or a backing stand. But anyway, it's a stand that you can glue on the back of your piece, and you don't have to have an easel or anything for it. But she showed you how. She says she's going to have a video with more detail in it. But basically, you finish your piece, you get it on the mount board, and then for how much of a margin you want that board to be, that's the measurements you give her, and they will cut these to size. And I'm thinking that's how I'm going to do this instead of just a frame. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, it's going to be so cute. I did leave the reindeer and Santa's sleigh on top of the town because I didn't leave myself a big margin. And I didn't know, I was just scared to put them up there. So, but yeah, I like how it turned out. So that is it. So I can mark another whip off my list. And I am planning on I got to kit it up for today. I do want to start oh, that's nothing in it. I'm thinking about kitting up this Winter Quaker real quick because I've got the Battleship from Color and Cotton, and I just got to get some thread for it. I mean fabric. And so that won't take long. And that's it. That is everything that I have worked on, and that's all my whips, all my FFOs. Not necessarily worked on, but I hope that y'all enjoyed it, and I hope that you got some good ideas and maybe seen some pieces that you would like to buy or that you never seen before. And so I I hope everybody has a wonderful, happy new year, and I will see you in 2025.